Hi, I'm Erin with Breathe Grace Yoga. Today we'll be sharing a practice in Vinyasa with a focus on time. Let's begin in easy pose, legs crossed. Hands are on your knees, shoulders are relaxed. Close your eyes or soften your gaze and focus on your breath. Breathing in deeply, exhaling fully. Taking any thoughts in your head and setting them on the side of your mat. And focusing just on this moment, giving yourself this time. And bringing your intention to the front of your mind. Lost wealth may be replaced by industry. Lost knowledge by study. Lost health by temperance or medicine. But lost time is gone forever. Opening your eyes, sweeping the arms up. As you inhale, little back bend right here as you look up at the ceiling, and then fold forward. Reaching the arms out, stretching the back. Slowly rolling back up. We'll do that again, sweeping the arms up, looking up at the ceiling, little back bend, folding forward. And then rolling back up. And one more time, sweeping the arms up, looking up at the ceiling. Exhaling as you fold forward. Deep breath right here. And slowly roll the spine back. All right, we are going to take one knee and bring it up, leave the other leg right where it is. So my left knee is up. I'm going to take my right arm, bring it around the left knee, take my left hand, put it behind me, and look over that shoulder. We'll come back to center, bring that leg back down, lift the other knee. So now you lift your right knee and take your left hand around the right knee. Right hand comes behind you, look over that right shoulder. Little spinal twist. And come back to center. Come back into easy pose. And we'll come into lateral flexion. So planting one hand next to your hips, other arm comes up and over. Leaving space from your ear to your shoulder, from your arm to your ear on the top. And switch. And now we'll flow. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Moving with your own breath for a few more times. One more each way. Good. Now we're going to lie down, knees up, and come into a bridge flow. So placing your feet about hip distance apart, knees are up, arms are at your sides. Take a breath to prepare. And then we'll inhale the hips up, engaging the glutes, the abs, and the quads, and then exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Moving with your own breath. Really focusing on those muscles as you're moving up and down. Two more. Great. We're going to come back to seated. And you may have noticed that I am sitting on a blanket. This vinyasa is going to be on the mat. We're not going to be standing. So for my hips, I like to raise them up and sit on a blanket. You can do that if that's comfortable for you. It's not necessary if you're comfortable sitting flat on the floor, but a blanket or a small pillow can sometimes go a long way. All right, so we're back in easy pose. We're going to take the hands, place them in front of the knees, not on the joints, just right below. Round the back, tuck the chin. We're coming into cat and cow, seated, and we're just going to hold this as we stretch the spine, open up the vertebrae. Tummy's tucked, spine is rounded, and we're breathing. And then we're going to lift the chest, arch the back, look up at the ceiling. And breathe. And we'll do that again. Round the back, tuck the chin. Really stretching out the spine here. And then lift, arch the back, look up at the ceiling. and come back to neutral spine. From here, we're going to come into eagle arms. So arms are out to the sides first. Let's take our left hand over our right and then twist it around so that your palms come together, okay? Now, if you can't get there and you're like this, that's fine. I'll give you another option in just a second. When you get your arms, palms together, or the backs together, you're gonna pull down, feel that stretch across your shoulders. Now, if you can't get your arms like this at all, that's okay. Take your left arm across your body, right arm grabs your bicep, and just pull in like this. It'll give you a similar stretch, okay? So we're going to be in eagle arms. Pull the arms down to feel that stretch across the top of your back. We're going to hold it here and then we'll fold forward in a moment. So start with breathing deeply. And then go ahead and fold forward if that feels good, keeping the arms in eagle arms. And lift slowly and controlled. Release the arms, shake them out, and now we'll do the other side. Same thing, so we'll do eagle arms, or if you don't want to twist the arms, take your right arm across the body, left arm grabs the bicep, and just pull it towards you. And if you're folding like this, that's fine, you can still do that and still get a nice shoulder stretch. So, arms out, shoulder height, right arm comes over the left, twist it around, palms together, and pull down. A few breaths right here. And then fold forward if it feels good. Slowly lift. Unwrap the arms, release and shake them out. Great. We're going to come onto our hands and knees. Sink back into child's pose. Arms are out in front, feet, knees can be together or wide. And then walk the hands forward, lift the hips, come into extended puppy or melting heart. Forehead comes to the mat. Arms are extended. We're feeling that nice stretch across the top of the back, and hips are up. And take your right hand, tuck it through under your left hand, come down onto that right shoulder for thread the needle. Hips are still up. And bring that arm back out, and then take the left arm, thread it through under the right, coming onto that shoulder for thread the needle. And bringing that arm back out in front of you, coming back into extended puppy, forehead on the mat. And breathing. And then walking the hands back up, sitting back on your heels, clasping your hands behind your back, opening up the chest. If sitting on your heels isn't comfortable, you can come back to easy pose or put a blanket under your feet or between your feet and your hips. Lots of options there. And then we'll unclasp the hands, come forward on your mat and come down onto your belly. Bringing your hands next to your chest, we're going to lift just a little bit for baby cobra. Breathing right here. Feeling that little tiny back bend in your back. And then pressing back into child's pose. Hips down this time. And then pull back onto your belly. And we're going to come up into full cobra. So hands are next to your chest. And when you're ready, press up as far as you can. If you can't come all the way up, that's okay. Don't strain your back. Do what's comfortable for your body today. Making sure you can breathe. And then releasing cobra, pressing back into child's pose again. And we'll come back onto the belly. We're going to come into locust pose. Arms are back. We're going to lift the head, the shoulders, the chest, and the arms. And then we're going to lift the legs. So lifting the upper body and then the lower body, locust pose. Holding and breathing. And release. We're going to come back into locust pose this time with the option of binding the hands behind your back. So opening up the chest, clasping the hands, and then lifting the legs. And release, pressing back into child's pose again. And coming up onto the knees, we're going to come into camel pose. I'm going to give you some options for camel. If you have blocks, you can grab them. I'll show you without the blocks first. So option 1, your knees are hip distance apart. Knees and hip bones right here are in line. You're going to relax your shoulders, roll them back, support your lower back, and lean back and just look up at the ceiling. This is option 1. Option 2 is to reach down, grab your heels, making sure you can still breathe and talk. And then option 3 with the blocks, put one block next to each ankle and use those blocks to support you at whichever height works for you. And then relax back into child's pose. Lift yourself up. We're going to come into a mermaid stretch. So sitting on your bottom, knees are up. We are going to tilt the knees to the right and bring both legs, they're overlapped on each other. The left is over the right. And then take your left hand, hold on to your left ankle. Right arm comes up and over. And then bring the hands down, knees come back up. We're going to tilt them to the left. Again, right hand grabs the right ankle, left arm comes up and over. And bring the hands down. Swing the feet around. Lie down on your back. Feet are hip distance apart, knees are up, hands are at your sides. We're going to come into a bridge pose and hold it. So take a breath to prepare and then lift the hips. Option to bind, clasping the hands underneath you. And release the bind, lower the hips. Next, We're going to come into wheel pose. Option to do bridge again with the bound hands if you want to, or you can try to come into wheel. So taking your fingers, putting them by your shoulders, you're going to press into the mat with your feet and your hands, lifting yourself up. Take a breath to prepare. And when you're ready, lift. And release. Go ahead and hug your knees, tucking your head, rounding the back to counter that back bend. And then we'll come on up to a seated position, opening up the legs, coming into dragonfly pose or seated straddle. Keeping the spine tall, walking the hands out. Straight spine, not rounding. Coming down as far as you can. Breathing into this as you get deeper. And walking the hands back up. And now coming into revolved head to knee pose. So keep your legs the way they are. Take your right hand, go ahead and grab your right big toe. You're going to bring that elbow towards your knee or the mat, wherever it reaches, and bring your left hand over the top. Coming back to center, take your left hand, grab your left big toe, bring that elbow towards your knee or the mat, and your right hand comes over the top. And come back to center. Now we're going to come into a seated forward fold. Option to use your strap here if you would like. If you have issue with hyperextension, make sure you roll up a blanket and put it underneath your knees for this stretch. And again, we're going to keep the spine straight first. Walking the hands forward as far as you can with your spine straight. Just feeling that nice stretch in the back of your legs. If you're using a strap, go ahead and hold on to it. And then go ahead and round the spine. Come deeper, grab your feet or your strap. Stretching the legs and the back at the same time. Then walk the hands back up. And we're going to come into fish pose. So lying down on your back, placing your fingers by your tailbone and coming onto your forearms. Legs are extended out. We're going to arch the back, bring the head down. And then from here, remove the arms from behind you, bring them out to the sides. We're laying flat on our backs in a T. Lift your left leg, bend it, lifting the knee up, and bring the knee across the body, leaving both shoulders on the floor. And look over your left shoulder. Option to take your right hand, put a little pressure on that left thigh to get a little bit deeper, if it feels good. And then come back to center, realign the spine, straighten out the legs. Lift up the right knee, bring it across the body, looking over the right shoulder, maybe taking the left hand and pressing on that right knee. Coming back to center. And we're going to roll over onto our bellies, coming into half frog pose. So bringing one leg out to the side, resting on your cheek. And bringing that leg back, switching the side of your leg and your face. And bringing that leg back, pressing yourself up. We're going to come into hero's pose. Some options here. So you're going to spread your knees wide, bring your hips down between your feet, and sit up nice and tall. Now, if that pose is not accessible to you today, you can grab some pillows or a bolster. Stack them up as high as you want. And sit right on the bolster or the pillows. You can use couch pillows, bed pillows, whatever you like. Sit up nice and tall, relax the shoulders. If you are flat on the floor without the bolster, you can put a pillow under the tops of your feet or ankles to soften that part. And breathe. And then coming out of hero's pose, we will prepare for final relaxation. So you can lie down on your back, side or belly. Find a comfortable position that you can relax in. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. And bring your focus once again inward to your breath. Breathing deeply. Feeling good about the practice we just shared together. And bringing your focus to our intention of time. This is the beginning of a new day. God has given me this day to use as I will. I can waste it or use it for good. What I do today is important because I am exchanging a day of my life for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever, leaving in its place something that I traded for it. I want it to be gain, not loss, good, not evil, success, not failure, in order that I shall not regret the price I paid for it. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Support yourself into a seated position. And we'll inhale up and exhale. One more time, inhale up and exhale. The light in me honors and appreciates the light in you. Namaste. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you soon.